Welcome to the Game Sense Football Podcast. Once again, you're with Ewan, and with me is Naz.
Hello.
Hey Naz, and in today's episode, it's a bit of a continuation from the last week's episode on Mo Salah. We waxed lyrical about how good he was, and regardless of where we actually placed him in our rankings, I think we can agree that he's one of the all-time greats who's currently still playing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right, Naz?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I would have to agree with that assessment for a current Liverpool player, current for now at least.
Yes, that's right. So in today's episode, we are thinking about selecting our best 11 from the players who were not included in the Ballon d'Or list of nominees, which happens to be applies to Salah as well, because
Yes.
Salah was not included in this list, which as a rival fan, I would say it's a bit weird that he wasn't included.
Yep. No. Looking at some of the names on the list, very few of them don't deserve to be there, but I think Salah could feel quite aggrieved not to be there.
Yes, exactly. So if you're interested to see who we choose in our best 11, do stay tuned. And remember, we are on Instagram at GameSenseFootball, or you can drop us an email at gamesensefootball@gmail.com. Remember, pen pals.
So, Ewan,
Hmm.
this is the first Ballon d'Or in a long time without Leo Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo.
Indeed.
Taking away both of them,
Mhm.
who is your favorite winner of the Ballon d'Or?
Who's my favorite winner of the Ballon d'Or of all time?
Yeah.
I actually like Kaká a lot. I believe he was the winner before Messi and Ronaldo went on their long run. Kaká, one of my favorite players, back in the 2000s.
Yep.
When he was with AC Milan, especially. Yeah. Really interesting type of Brazilian player. He didn't have the sort of
Trickery.
yeah, he wasn't really that tricky, but he was more of a direct playmaker kind of player. And that's the sort of game that I guess at that time I was a little bit more used to having, usually watch the Premier League, right? And Kaká was somewhat like that. He had a little bit of trickery in his dribbling, but nothing fancy. In fact, it was more practical dribbling skills to actually get past his man, the type of turns that he did, the timing, and his strength as well, I guess.
Yeah.
As a playmaker, he was rather tall.
Yeah, I remember the goal he scores against Man United, where he cuts inside and causes, is it Heinz and Evra to crash into each other?
Yeah, basically, confusion in the back line. I think, he's linked up with, I believe, Andrei Shevchenko during those great years of AC Milan during when Ancelotti was in charge of the team. And they played this like Christmas tree, a bit of skewed Christmas tree, non-symmetrical Christmas tree formation. I think that was one of my favorite teams to watch during the time. Okay, so Nas, you suggested an interesting way for us to pick our teams, didn't you?
Yes. So as you mentioned, we are going to come up with an 11 of players who have not been nominated for the Ballon d'Or this year based on current form and ability. To make it interesting, what I thought of was to have it in a sort of a draft sort of system of format, I guess. So we'll take turns in picking a player in each position for our own teams, and we can't have the same player. So let's say if I pick Andre Onana as a keeper, Ewan will have to pick somebody else as his keeper. And at the end, we'll compare our teams and see how they could fare against each other and how they work, or I guess maybe even don't work.
Yeah, I think it sounds good, and it will ensure that both our teams are kind of different.
Completely different.
Make things a little bit more interesting. Of course, before the podcast started, Nas and I already decided who would go first, and that would be me.
Yes.
Yes, goalkeeper position. Okay.
It's also worth noting, we are also excluding players in the who were nominated for the Yashin Trophy and the Copa Award, which is the Yashin Trophy is for the best keeper of the year, and Copa Award is for the best young players.
Yep, that's right. Okay, so for goalkeeper, I'm going with David Raya.
David Raya, Arsenal's David Raya.
Yes, a very underrated keeper actually. He's not even first choice for Spain, which is crazy when you think
Yes,
about it. Yeah, I do believe that he is probably the better keeper between him and Unai
Unai
Simon,
Simon.
who is nominated for the Yashin Award.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
but David Raya not even getting a place in that Spanish first 11. Um, I think nobody talks much about him. For some reason, I have no idea why.
Mm,
He was, I think, the keeper with the most number of clean sheets last season,
okay.
and also his overall play, ability on the ball, being comfortable, is the hallmark of what modern keepers
Yes.
are these days.
Mm,
Yeah. And of course, him playing for Arsenal last season, and them finishing second in the league,
yeah.
when him getting most number of clean sheets, I think played a big part in that run as well for his team.
Arsenal had a really, really good defensive record.
Hmm.
Best in the league, I think.
Yes.
As you said, Unai Simon was nominated for the Yashin Award. Emi Martinez is the only keeper nominated for the Ballon d'Or.
Mm,
I have two names. I will go with Thibaut Courtois. Okay.
interesting.
Interesting and maybe controversial because he spent a lot of last season injured.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He did come back at the end though, and he
Mm-hmm.
kept a clean sheet in every single game he played for Real Madrid.
Mm.
So Thibaut Courtois, he has played in two Champions League finals in 22 and 24. And in the two finals, he's faced 12 shots. It's a total XG of 3.4 and conceded 0 goals.
Wow.
Again, controversial because he's been injured a lot, but he's just such an amazing keeper. My second choice, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned David Raya being the great example of being a modern keeper. Second choice for me was Manuel Neuer.
Manuel Neuer. I mean, he's the embodiment of what
Yeah,
keepers are.
yeah. Neuer has been a bit quiet the last maybe 1 2 years. He also had injury issues. But I saw he was Neuer top five in XG prevented in the Champions League last year.
Oh, still very good. Unfortunately, I guess, Bayern as well, not doing so well.
Yeah.
Plus, Neuer's getting older.
Yes. Yes. You've gone with David Raya, and I'll go with Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, but you know what? Interestingly, Thibaut Courtois' deputy Andre Lunin, he's
Yes.
nominated for the
Yes.
Yashin Award.
Correct. He had a good year. Yeah.
Had a terrible first game, was it at the Euros?
Yes. There is a South African keeper nominated for the
Ronwen
something.
something.
Ronwen Ronwen Williams.
Williams. Okay.
He is nominated on the back of AFCON 2023, which was held in 2024. And in the quarterfinal, South Africa versus Cape Verde, he saved 4 penalties in the shootout.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
when I saw his name, I mean, preparing for this episode, I saw his name and I was like, who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
Right. Yeah, and really the most important piece of nugget was that he saved four
Yes.
penalties to lead South Africa to the semi-finals.
Yes. We'll move on to right back now. And so I'll go Jeremy Frimpong.
Ah, Jeremy
Jeremy
Frimpong.
Frimpong.
Yes.
Leverkusen flying right back, right wing back. You could argue maybe not really great at right back, but I'm willing to gamble on it. His
Mm,
partner Alex Grimaldo is
yeah.
nominated in the Ballon d'Or shortlist, long list, but Frimpong is not.
Interesting, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. I wonder why. Frimpong did, you know, have quite many goal contributions as well, I
Yeah,
believe.
Grimaldo maybe scored more because he took free kicks as well, but Frimpong was, I would argue, between the two, Frimpong was the more high profile one.
I agree. I agree.
Hmm.
Okay. Jeremy Frimpong. I had him on my list as well.
So who's your pick then?
who's my pick then? Maybe a little bit controversial, I guess. I would go with Diogo Dalot.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, and to be fair, he was in my mind as well. He was one of the few Man United players who did well last season.
Yes, exactly. Well, one of the few who were not nominated. I mean, we do have rather, Kobe Menu and
Mm,
Alejandro Garnacho being
yes.
nominated for the Copa Award.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yes, Diogo Dalot. I mean, very bright performances. I am not going to use any stats to back this up because I mean, stats wise, you know how United does, not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he looked like the best defender that we had very
Mm,
often on the
mm,
pitch. Yeah, and didn't really make that many mistakes over the course of a poor season,
yeah.
even by United's standards these days.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
Yep.
Yeah. I almost went with Ben White actually from Arsenal.
Yeah, so I was looking at Ben White to be honest, and I didn't want to include too many Arsenal players in my list, considering I had David Raya
Okay.
already in goalkeeper. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So Frimpong for me and Dalo for you.
So for my left back,
Hmm.
Federico Di Marco, Inter Milan.
Federico Di Marco. Oh, that's a good pick. Another one who is
Yes.
more of a wing back than left back, but most
Yeah.
Italian wing backs can play left back.
Yeah. So I feel that the Italian players don't get enough exposure to
Mm.
mainstream football fans.
Hmm.
Being that the Serie A isn't that great a league these
Yes.
days.
Yeah.
But I'm an Italian national team fan, so
Mm.
I do keep track on all these guys, and Federico Di Marco has been pretty great for Inter in their title winning season
Mm.
and won it by a mile anyway. And I believe he contributed like 5 goals, 6 assists from fullback in this area,
Yeah.
which is basically number one for defenders already in terms of goal contributions. So
Mm.
there you go.
Good pick. Okay. So funny you mentioned Italian left backs. Mine is
Mm.
Riccardo Califori. My
Oh, interesting.
Euro pick
Bologna.
and another Arsenal player. He
Yes,
just
yes, yes.
moved to Arsenal from Bologna. Like Dimarco, also very good at helping the attack. Good on the ball, good dribbling, but good defender as well. And yeah, like I said, there's a lot of historically a lot of Italian players fit this bill. Like they produce a lot of good left backs. Maybe not so many right backs, but yeah. Even if some of those left backs are right footed, like a Maldini, like a Zambrota.
Yeah, that's right. Not so many right backs. Damian.
Even Damian played left back more than right back, and he was right footed.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. Fair enough.
We have two Italian left backs. I had Rico Lewis as my backup, actually.
Rico Lewis.
The
Wow.
City left back. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Now I was looking at like a backup, and to be honest, didn't really find a good one.
Mm,
I would have gone with something like a Theo Hernandez, to be honest, if
mm, yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Theo Hernandez has been good for Milan the last couple of years.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. So fullbacks out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
First centre back. I'm torn
Mm. Torn.
between two very similar centre backs.
Okay.
Ultimately, I have gone with Mickey van der Ven from Spurs.
Oh, Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah. He
Interesting.
might not actually be the best defender, but amazing player because he's stupidly fast and
It's probably like
can
the fastest centre back or something.
yeah. And he just recently Spurs had a goal for I think Son Scott where Van de Ven just takes the ball and runs almost the entire length of the pitch and lays it off. And he's
Mm.
so stupidly fast. And
Yep, yep, yep.
that helps, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Mickey Van de Ven from Spurs.
Mickey van der Ven from Spurs. Nice. Okay. My centre back now. Josko Gvardiol.
Bardiol, yes, good pick. City
Yeah.
and Croatia, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of those, like Ben White playing
Yeah.
centre back would probably be first choice, but I guess the school of thought here is that you just play with four centre backs.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
Guardiola plays Nathan Ake and all at fullback sometimes. Sometimes they
Yes,
play centre back
exactly.
as well. So, I mean, Gvardiol is definitely by default centre back, but he can play elsewhere, which is useful.
Yep, that's right.
Second centre back.
Jonathan Tah.
Oh, Jonathan Tah, Leverkusen.
Yes.
Oh, has he moved?
Leverkusen.
No, he hasn't
Uh,
moved.
he hasn't, but I believe he has stated that he's not going to renew his contract.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
probably, like free transfer to Bayern. Where else?
Yeah. Jonathan Tah has been very good in FIFA and in FM for a long, 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 long time. So no real surprises
Yes.
that he's been good at Leverkusen. Some people say that he's better in a three-man defense than a two, but I think it just depends on who his partner is.
I think the main issue with that is because a lot of his detractors have not believed that he has lived up to his potential
Mm,
over his career so far
yep.
until
Now,
last season.
yep.
Yes, where he was playing in a three-man defense at the back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he did well. So that could be one of the reasons
Mm.
why, where that kind of talk came from.
Okay. My second centre back.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was torn between two, and my second choice was Ezri Konsa from Villa.
Oh, Konsa, yeah.
Interestingly, for my first centre back, just now I said that I was torn between Van der Ven and another similar player. It was Pau
Mm-hmm.
Torres, also from Villa, also very
Ah,
fast.
yes.
Ezri Konsa, today I learned 85.2% success rate against dribbles in the last 1 year. The best in the top five leagues in Europe.
Wow.
I had
Impressive.
no idea he was that efficient in tackling. So he was on my list for a long time, but I went with Lisandro Martinez.
Lisandro Martinez.
Lisandro Martinez from Man United and Argentina. Copa America winning
Yes.
Lisandro Martinez. Yeah, tenacious and like an annoying player to play against and very good on the ball. And I think he likes to charge up and be very aggressive and dive into a tackle. Sometimes he misses, but that's why Van der Ven is very quick and can cover for him.
Yep. Unlike Harry Maguire.
Unlike Harry Maguire or Rafa Varane or Victor Lindelof or Johnny Evans. So some of the centre backs who were nominated for the Ballon d'Or: William
Mm-hmm.
Saliba from Arsenal, Ruben Diaz
Yeah.
from City, Mats Hummels, and Antonio Rudiger from Real. So I went with Van der Ven and Lisandro Martinez, and you went with no, Josep Guardiola and
Jonathan Tah.
Jonathan Tah. Good picks, yeah.
Yes.
So that's our back five done.
On to our midfield.
Hmm.
Um,
So midfield is always an interesting discussion because there's so many ways to organize and construct a midfield, right?
yeah, I mean, you could have, two defensive midfielders. You could have just, one defensive midfielder or
Hmm.
no defensive midfielders and just three center mids.
Yeah,
One,
yeah,
two center mids, one attacking,
yeah.
two attacking, one. Wow, so many. It's okay.
So some of the names which we can't pick include Rodri, Toni Kroos, Declan Rice, Fede Valverde, Leverkusen's Granit Xhaka, and
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo nominated for the Copa Award, not the Ballon d'Or.
Yes, that's right.
So my first pick is Joao Paulinho.
Oh man, wow.
Is that yours?
So he is on my list. He's on my list.
Okay, okay. I originally wanted to go with two deep like playmakers, but looking further afield, I need somebody who can just make a shitload of tackles, and that's him. So Joao Paulinho, who was at Fulham and now is at Bayern,
Mm-hmm.
just insane, hilarious number of tackles and interceptions, most in the top five leagues.
Yeah.
In the Premier League, I think last year he had like 20% more than anybody else or something stupid like that. So yeah,
Yep.
it's just him. If the ball is close to him, he gets it.
Yeah, correct. I really love watching those videos on YouTube on him making his tackles. It's so beautiful.
It's satisfying, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Really love it. Fantastic pick. So my first would be a defensive midfielder.
Okay.
Um, it would be Aurelien Chouameni.
Oof. So many good choice from Real.
Yes,
French.
yes, yes. French guy from Real,
Mm.
taking over, Casemiro's place,
Mm.
anchoring the midfield.
Yes.
He was actually when he was playing for Real,
Mm.
they did not lose a single game in all
Really?
competitions.
That's a good
Yes.
stat.
Yes. So I think he played 31 matches, won 25, drew 6.
Good pick. Good pick. Okay. So João Palhinha versus Aurelien Tchouameni. And
Mm-hmm.
your second center midfielder?
Antoine Griezmann.
Antoine Griezmann in center mid. Oh, good pick. Good pick. I love Griezmann in midfield.
So he's one of those people normally see him as an attacker, but
Mm.
actually he's really, really like versatile. And he plays quite a bit in midfield, actually.
Yeah.
I believe he played a lot more as like a attacking mid
Mm.
kind of player
Mm.
the past season. He actually scored 16 goals for Atletico Madrid.
For France, he plays very, very deep in midfield. So and it works very well
Yes,
for them.
correct, correct.
Okay. My second midfielder,
Hmm.
Tion Koopmeiners.
Wow.
Juventus player who was at Atalanta for a long time.
Yep.
Um, so I've always thought he was a good player. I didn't realize how good until I did a bit of digging today.
Hmm.
He's compared to other midfielders, top 3% for goals, top 12% for expected assists, and 8% for progressive carries with dribbling forward.
Oh.
So very, very high output box to box player.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, who also puts in a defensive shift. My third midfielder is
Hmm.
my dedicated attacking midfielder.
I think I know who.
Guess who it is?
Bruno Fernandes.
No, I
No.
did not pick Bruno. I really
Okay.
wanted to. I actually have
Yes.
have three players here, and
Okay.
it was a very big debate internally. But I went with my heart, and I picked James Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez, who we when we were talking about the Copa America a few weeks ago, we didn't realize he
Ah.
was still playing.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
he had
yeah.
an amazing Copa America, most chances created, most assists, and some other stupid numbers like that. So I love watching Rodriguez play, and he's a very, very limited player in the sense he can do some things brilliantly and some things
Hmm.
very not brilliantly. But I
Yeah, yeah.
think my midfield configuration will help.
Mm. James Rodriguez. I did not see that coming.
Okay, yeah. Who's your third midfielder?
Mine would be Pedri.
Pedri or another good one.
Yeah, so Pedri's like has always been over the years the golden boy
Mm,
of Spanish football, but people forget about him the
yeah,
moment a new golden boy comes along, right? So like
yes.
now Lamine Yamal is like
Lamine
talk of the
Yamal.
town,
Yeah.
even Nico Williams,
Yeah.
right?
Even within Barca, people stopped talking about Pedri when Gavi appeared shortly after.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But
But
yeah,
Pedri is
now
so good.
nobody talks about Pedri. Yeah, Pedri is so good, so essential to
Yeah.
Barcelona.
He,
Um,
he's very Iniesta like. Not exactly the same, but similar. Yeah.
yeah, agreed.
Mm,
I think for me he's the heartbeat of the Barcelona midfield,
mm.
and surprising that he didn't get any nominations
Yeah, I
actually.
think him and Gavi the last couple of years have had a lot of fitness issues.
Hmm.
Gavi got a ACL, I think, or MCL injury, and Pedri basically his first couple of years played too much, and he wasn't actually injured, but just couldn't play too many games last year. But he
Yep.
seems to be back on the up now. But yeah, Pedri, good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the other players I had considered, Ilkay Gundogan
Ilkay Gundogan. Yes.
and Marcel Sabitzer.
Oh, Sabitzer.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
when he was on loan at United, I was actually very happy. I've always liked Marcel Sabitzer. while doing the research for today's episode, Gundogan and Sabitzer are both tied, joint third for goal creating actions in the Champions League last season.
Wow.
Yeah, they are tied with Jude Bellingham, Ousmane Dembele, and Harry Kane. That's how
Okay.
like high output they are.
Couple of others I have Bruno Guimaraes.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
Yes.
oh.
And Nicolo Barella.
Bruno Guimaraes and Joao Paulina would be an amazing midfield.
Amazing,
I'm
yes.
annoyed now.
Yeah, but I went with Chouameni because, he's playing in the a team that has achieved a lot more, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And being first choice midfielder
Mm.
in Real Madrid is no small feat.
Our attackers. So, are you going with Salah as your right winger?
Nah, I
No?
mean, that's kind of cheating, I
Too
guess.
easy.
Too easy in terms of, like our episode right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for my right, I would be going with Jamal Musiala.
Oh, that's my pick. Okay, good pick. Yes.
I think he's like what, second top scorer after Harry Kane for Bayern last season.
Mm.
Of course, many goals behind though, like what, 12, something like that.
Very good Euros as well.
Had a good Euros, electric player, very
Mm.
very very nice to watch.
Among midfielders, top 1% in Europe for number of dribbles and number of dribbles completed last year.
Ah, so
But
good.
also among attackers, top 5% for interceptions.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Okay, so since you've gone with Musiala and like you, I've not gone with Salah, even though he probably deserves to be in this, but we've hyped up Salah for 2 episodes already. So
Yeah,
let's go
that's
with
enough. That's enough.
that's
Yeah, that's
enough.
enough.
So I go with my second choice right winger, Rafinha from Barcelona.
Rafinha.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So former Leeds player. I've always thought he was a bit like a bit wasteful.
I still think.
I can see the logic there, and I wouldn't argue too much against it, but he's one of those players, maybe like Salah a few years ago, could be wasteful, but he just creates a lot of chances for himself as well. Last week
Mm,
he scored a hat-trick, I think, for Barcelona.
yep.
And he's one of those like X factor players. So I'll go with Rafinha.
Wow.
Mm.
Interesting.
So my left wing
Mm,
is Xavi Simons.
really?
Yes. Ewan doesn't look very impressed.
I
I really
I
like
I
him as a player.
I mean, I think there's a little bit too much hype surrounding him. He's good, not that great.
He's not Mbappe, he's not Bellingham, but I think
Yeah.
he's got a lot of potential, and I think he at PSG never really got a chance. He was been on loan a few times, but like in the Bundesliga, he was very good. In the Eredivisie, he was very good.
Mm,
Yeah, so
mm,
he's proven himself in 2 different leagues already.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Top 10% of all players for XA, so expected assists.
Expected assists.
So maybe if he had better forwards around him, he'd be better.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, my turn. Left wing. I've three choices, and between the three, I feel it's very close, and I
Okay,
want to pick all three.
okay.
But I think I would go with Kvaratskhelia.
Oh, good pick. Good pick. The
Mm,
fella whose I can never pronounce.
yes,
Napoli and Georgia.
correct,
Hmm.
correct.
Does he wear 77? Am I right
77.
in thinking? I mean, I want to Google it now, but I can't spell his name. So,
Yeah, yeah. So really exciting,
hmm,
exciting winger. I love watching him play.
hmm.
Um,
Magical dribbler.
Magical dribbler.
Hmm,
Yeah, not one of those tiny wingers. Again,
hmm,
like a bit like what I said about Kaka earlier. It's a bit of a taller
hmm.
fella, but
Low socks, I think. Right?
yeah, but that's the job, man. I mean,
Yeah.
looks really good.
Hmm.
Love watching him play.
The year Napoli won the league, he was amazing. Last year, didn't start so well but ended better. And this year has been good. This season.
Yes. So far this season, good.
Mm.
Must be Scotty McTominay. Must be.
So who were your other two options at left wing?
Okay, let me start with right wing first.
Okay.
I had two other options as well.
Mm.
Angel Di Maria.
He had a very good Copa America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good, right?
Okay.
Like also reminded me of his existence.
Mm.
And we mentioned him earlier as well, Usman Dembele.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I was happy to go with Musiala. For my left wing, the two that I had, Rafael Leao.
Oh yes, Rafael, who I had
Yeah,
tipped to be the start one of the stars for the Euro, and the only notable thing he did was get suspended for diving twice.
exactly. Terrible. And the other one is Son Heung-min.
Mm. Mm. Like I said, I had Jamal Musiala, but my
Mhm.
other option on the wing was Isco
Isco. Oh, the resurgence of Isco.
at Real Betis now.
Yes.
One of the again, I don't want to fall back on numbers all the time, but top 2% of all players for progressive passes, top 10 for dribbles and shot creating actions. He's again one of those players. Love watching him play. Just like tight spaces, ball control, dribbling, flicks. So nice to
Mm.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of fell off the radar for a few years, but
Mm.
I think he's getting a bit of a revival in his career
Yeah.
with
In my notes here, I've literally written Renaissance at Betis.
good for him.
One position left, and it's the striker.
Yes. Paulo Dybala.
Paulo Dybala. Good pick. Good pick.
Yes.
Another player I love.
So often overlooked.
Mm.
Like he's been really good for a very long time, but somehow can't click with Messi with Argentina, so
Mm.
hasn't really been getting opportunities there. Recently he did play wearing number 10 for Argentina, I
Ah,
believe. Yes, just a few days ago. I think he's still with Roma. Yeah, he rejected a move to Saudi Arabia.
yes.
Good for him. Doesn't need the money, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been like living in the shadows of first, there was Messi in Argentina, and then before that, for a period of time, there was Ronaldo in
Mm.
Juventus as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, poor fella. But
Yeah.
still been very good. Like you said, one of your favorite players,
Mm.
and likewise for me as well,
Mm.
one of my favorites. And he kind of did quite well last season for Roma. I actually wasn't too sure how well he did, but
Mm.
I believe he had like still over 20 goal contributions
Mm.
in the
Yeah, yeah.
season.
Very creative force, Paulo Dybala. Like maybe doesn't score a lot, but creates a lot. Takes
Yep,
very good at long shots and free kicks. Free kicks also.
yep, yep,
Left footed.
correct.
For this position, I had
Mm-hmm.
Ollie Watkins as the first name I wrote down, but I didn't want to go with Ollie Watkins, even though Ollie Watkins last year, I think like
Yep,
19 goals, 12 or
19
13 assists in the
goals.
league, something like that. Amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, I mean, his goals brought Villa to the Champions League, so
Yeah.
would be well
Uh,
deserved.
I didn't go with that. I
Mm.
went online and I looked at numbers again, and there's a metric you can look at, which is goals minus XG.
Basically, how well he overachieved, right?
Correct. Okay.
Yep.
And in the top seven of that list, obviously, like Mbappe is there because he
Mm-hmm.
scores ridiculous goals.
Yep.
Harry Kane is there because he just scores a
Mm-hmm.
shitload of goals.
Mm-hmm.
Among the top seven, there's Lautaro Martinez for Inter
Who's
and
nominated?
Argentina,
Yes.
who is
Yes.
nominated. Alexandre Lacazette, who is not nominated, but for Lyon, and
What?
he was at the Olympics for
Yes.
France.
Yes. Lacazette. Really, Lacazette.
So Benjamin Sesko is also up there. Another one who
Cisco
we had tipped for a good Euros and achieved nothing.
achieved nothing.
The top player in this metric is Alexander Sorloth at
Ah,
Villarreal, who is a
yes. Yes.
Norwegian striker. He
Yes.
outperformed his XG by 10 goals.
Nice. Yes. Soloth is this like huge
Mm,
guy
mm,
uh who kind of flopped in England.
mm.
Flopped in Germany, I think.
I
Was
think
it
so.
Germany?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Germany.
Yeah, and suddenly in Spain,
Lighting it
he's
up
like scoring nonstop.
non-stop. Yeah.
Yes.
I had him, but I was like, it's very easy to pick a big Scandinavian forward as your striker in this day and age. So my pick,
Lacazette.
no, it's somebody you, Ewan, had
Okay.
discarded on the wing. It's
On
Son.
the wing, Sun.
Yeah. So I've gone with
Mm.
Son, Spurs, Son Heung-min as my striker. Obviously, he can play either position, wing or striker. Under Ange Postecoglou for Spurs, he has tended to play more centrally, though sometimes he still goes on the wing depending on who else is playing. Now
Yep.
that Solanke is injured, right, for Spurs, so he'll Son will probably play striker again for a few months.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
the other day we found out that Son scored the most weak foot goals in the Premier League in the last
Yes.
15 years. He's the
Yes.
top 1% in Europe for XA, Son.
Oh,
Yeah. So imagine,
nice.
like we said, if Son was playing in a better team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the perennial like main topic when you talk about Sun.
Yeah. Yeah. So he is my pick for striker in my team.
That's a very good pick. I like Sun in the middle.
Mm.
I believe last season in the middle he scored like still 10 plus goals, I think,
Yeah. Quite a bit, yeah.
and had like 10-ish assists as well.
Mm.
Basically, it's very very productive still.
Some of the names which were nominated, some of the names we couldn't pick. Kylian Mbappe, Florian Wirtz, Phil Foden, Jude
Yeah.
Bellingham, Lamine Yamal, and Nico Williams, Cole Palmer, Saka, Lautaro Martinez, as you said, Garnacho, Kane,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Arda Güler, Turkish,
Ada Güler.
for the Copa
Yes.
Award, and of course, Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland. Yeah, I mean we couldn't pick Garnacho as well.
Yes. So to recap, okay,
Yes. To recap.
this is my team. Courtois as keeper,
Mm-hmm.
Frimpong at right back, centre
Yep.
backs Mickey van der Ven and Lisandro Martinez, Ricardo Califiori at left back,
Mm-hmm.
two centre midfielders, Joao Paulinho and Tune Koopmeiners. I have James Rodriguez behind the front three, and the front three, Rafinha, Xavi Simons, and Son.
Nice. That's a very nice team. I mean, I could have picked Son as well.
Mm.
And to recap, for my team,
Mm-hmm.
in goal would be David Raya.
Mm-hmm.
My right back would be Diogo Dalot. Left back, Federico Di Marco.
Mm.
And my two centre backs would be Josko Gvardiol and Jonathan Tah. Anchoring the midfield, the centre defensive mid position would be Aurelien Chouameni.
Mm-hmm.
And two centre mids just in front of him, Antoine Griezmann and Pedri.
So good.
For my right wing, Jamal Musiala. Left wing, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. And up top in striker, or maybe a bit of a false nine type of player, Paulo Dybala.
In a way, both teams I feel are very similar. Even though not one player is repeated, obviously, and you could argue our centre backs are different, the midfield makeup is different, but in the end, they
Yep.
have the similar vibe, I think, like fast but creative forwards and physically strong but technically sound midfield.
I guess the biggest surprise for me would
Mm.
be your pick of James Rodriguez.
In that position,
Yeah.
I had James Rodriguez, Kevin De Bruyne, or
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez.
Julian Alvarez.
Attacking mid or striker. So in the end, I picked him for neither. He was my second choice in both positions.
I see, I see, I see.
Julian Alvarez, 2 seasons for City, and then won the Copa America for Argentina. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
he's won everything he needed to. He's just gone to Atletico Madrid now
Yeah,
to play with Griezmann.
perhaps,
Mm.
yes. Is he starter for Argentina?
Yes,
I think he starts, but Lautaro Martinez comes on and
yes,
just
and
scores more
scores.
goals
Yes, yes,
and gets the nomination
yeah,
for Ballon d'Or.
yeah. Who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or?
It's hard to look past Rodri, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be Rodri or Haaland, right? But I think it's gonna be Rodri.
Or Bellingham, I would say.
Yeah, I think if Bellingham had a better Euros, he would definitely have won. But he
Hmm.
didn't end the season well with Real and didn't have an amazing Euros except the bicycle kick. But Rodri, very good season for City, except when he played against Scott McTominay and he won the Euros.
I mean, Rodri, with his consistency
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
season, in fact, over seasons, right?
Seasons, yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
guy performs like so well, like clockwork, basically.
Okay, yeah. So I think those were two very good 11s, two very good winning 11s.
Yes, winning 11.
I can understand why some of them were not nominated for the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, we didn't pick Salah. You could argue
Yes.
Julian Alvarez maybe should have been nominated ahead of Lautaro Martinez. But I think those, very, very competitive. These teams would give most teams in the world a run for their money, I think.
Yep, agreed, agreed. So, okay, I guess that's the end of our episode. Do you agree with our picks?
Mm,
Which team do you like better, Naz's or mine?
mm.
And who would you pick for your 11 of
Your winning 11.
nominations, basically,
Non-mination.
non-nominees, nominations, yes. So players who didn't get nominated for the Ballon d'Or
Mm,
or the Yashin Award or the Copa Award.
yeah.
So do let us know in the comments. Do give us a follow once again on our social media
Mhm.
platforms. You can find us at Game Sense Football or drop us an email at gamesensefootball@gmail.com. So we look forward to hearing from you. Stay tuned for our next episode. So till next time, see ya.
See ya. I'm going to watch a Kaka video now.